Hello, leaders of the world. Welcome to Spread Love in Organizations, a podcast for purpose-driven healthcare leaders striving to make life better around the world by leading their teams with genuine care, servant leadership, and love. I'm Naji, your host for this special episode in partnership with Boston Biotechnology Summit, a bridge to collaboration and innovative synergies between healthcare stakeholders. I'm joined today by Jean Garrec, founder and CEO of Biophta Bioadhesive Ophthalmics, which is a biotech startup company willing to transform ophthalmology by relieving patients from the burden caused by their eye diseases. Jean is the son of two ophthalmologists strongly rooted in Brittany, pharmacist by training, ESCP MSM Healthcare Management alumni, and Exec MBA at ESSEC. Before founding Biophta, Jean held several leadership positions in pharma and medical devices for more than 20 years, mostly in SMEs and family-owned companies and startups. He is also a sailor who participated and won several regattas in France, USA, Carribeans, and he's passionate about sight&eye, entrepreneurship, and innovation, and wants to have an impact in ophthalmology and changing patients' lives. Jean, I'm honored to have you with me today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting me today. I'm glad having this chat with you.
Well, I'm really happy to have you here. And first, big congratulations on winning the first prize of the Boston Biotechnology Summit. And this is why you're here, because also of your amazing leadership and what you've been doing in healthcare. So before going into really Biophta and your biotech that you co-founded, I'm eager first to hear more about your personal story. What brought you to healthcare? What brought you to pharma, medtech, and now being a CEO and founder of this new venture?
Yes, of course. First of all, I've always been attracted not to the medical and to the science, but to ophthalmology. Being born and raised from two ophthalmologists, I've been soaked very early in my life into this world. I think the first time I went to the operating room for watching an eye surgery, I was like 15 or 16 years old. And very early, I've been attracted by this world, ophthalmology. So I started with pharmacy school, and I completed my Doctor of Pharmacy degree. And then I always knew a second thing beyond ophthalmology. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to do something with my hands. It doesn't have to be big. It could be a one-man show, but I had to do it. I had that deep inside me. So, and the third thing I learned that brought me to this journey is when I signed my first job contract, my first employment contract. It was after the pharmacy school and the business school, and my boss said, "Okay, very good profile, Jean. You did very well. Proof is that we offer you a job after your training period, but you're still missing one thing. And one thing, I'm sorry to tell you, it will take you a long time to acquire it, and it's very important. It's the utmost importance if you want to be a good leader." I was like wondering, what is he telling me? Is he going to sign my contract? And he told me, what you're missing is experience. And now that you start working in our company, you will have to do many different positions and try many different things in the company to different jobs. And at this point, I said, okay, well, I'm working in ophthalmology. I want to do my own business. And now what this guy is telling me is that I have to make different jobs before I'm ready to be an entrepreneur and to do it on my own.
I love this. Thanks for sharing this, Jean. I don't know how you reacted to this, but I was smiling as you were sharing about this piece on experience. We constantly hear it. It frustrated me in the beginning of my career. I'm like, yeah, well, but I know how to do things. I want to learn things. But actually, as you said, like those experiences build up and help you become an even broader and better leader, and obviously be able to build the company. So can we now move into Biophta? Obviously, all those experiences shaped you, and now you are combining what you love, which is entrepreneurship, having those experiences, and ophthalmology, in a biotech. So tell us more about what you do today. What's your purpose in this company? What's the mission? And what are you trying to solve for patients?
Well, Biophta is a preclinical stage biotech company, a French company, but having also a footprint that is being built in the US as well, since we are going to do the phase 1 trial in Boston. And our company transform ophthalmology with a new standard of care, which is made to replace topical eye drops, but also invasive intraocular injections that are performed to treat retinal disease. And our technology is based on a new family of biopolymers, and these polymers allow a topical, non-invasive, and self-applied continuous control dose for 1 week for treating the retina. So that's in a nutshell what we are doing. Today, there are many diseases of the eye that have treatment and treatments which are efficient and marketed, but still millions of people continue to lose sight because of disease which could be treated. And the reason for that is that approximately half of the patients don't take their treatment. Whether it is eye drops or injections, the compliance is a huge issue in ophthalmology. And I think it's really a shame. It's really a problem that people are getting blind despite their treatment. And this is what I want to fight. To take one very simple example, because you all know about glaucoma, about eye degeneration, about all these diseases which are affecting our world. Actually, the idea and the wish to make this company did not start it there, besides the fact that we are doing a glaucoma treatment at the moment, at the first use case. But where we started is that you may have heard there is a disease named trachoma. It's the #1 cause by the World Health Organization. It's a disease that affects 90 million people, and there are 2 million people in Africa which are blind because of trachoma. And it's a very simple bacteria, external, that you can treat with a tetracycline, so a very cheap drug, existing eye drops. So why is there so many people who are getting blind because of this? Is because it occurs in an area in Africa where people cannot have access to an eye drops 3 times a day during 6 weeks. People just don't do it. And if we were having such a simple treatment that could be applied topically for a 1 week period, I'm sure that we would not have had 2 million people blind because of trachoma. So this is what drives me every day. I think that 21st century, people should not get blind because of disease where there are cheap treatment available.
That's really great, and we definitely wish you all the best as you're really transforming patient experiences and hopefully being able to treat more patients and those who cannot be reached with your technology that you're building. What are your biggest challenges and opportunities as you think about it as a biotech CEO today and having started this company?
Well, I think that no wonder that money and raising funds is clearly an issue today for all the startup founders and managers. I mean, that's no surprise. I mean, the current economic context for that startup makes it not easy at the moment, and I'm pretty sure that it will become even more difficult in the coming months. But I mean, that's part of the game, and I would say that's life. What the biggest issue I face at the moment is try to convince talented people to join the company, because as a matter of fact, if the economic context is difficult, people tend not to be quitting their job to go in a company where it may be even more uncertain and that's the biggest difficulty, because a startup company like ours, the most important thing is not our technology, is the people who drive the project, and we're always looking for the most talented people. And to be honest, it's a big challenge at the moment to find the right people and to find quickly the best people on the market who could drive this project forward.
This is a great segue to my next question, actually, because I wanted to go into people. So I'm hearing it's one of your biggest challenge, and you said it beautifully. There's the technology, but also the team that will be driving this project forward. So how are you thinking about your team as you scale up your company, you scale up your biotech? What do you look for the first employees? If you can share a little bit where you are now, how many employees you have, and then how you think about scaling up your team specifically as you're going through this first phase on your job.
Yeah, first of all, I'm trying to be very humble about driving the company and managing the company. I had the original idea to make this company happen, but the thing is that I know almost nothing. I know quite well ophthalmology, but I had the chance to meet my co-founder, who is named Jean as well, who is an expert in drug development. He's a pharmacist as well, but he spent 20 years developing new drugs. He holds a PhD in pharmaceutical science. He has been making an academic research on developing new drugs as well. He has been the head of R&D in some Novartis business unit. So developing new drugs, he knows, and that's where we started the company. One knowing ophthalmology, and the other one knowing how to make it happen to make a new pharmaceutical. And then my job is to know where are my limits, and where do I need to get some expertise in, and trying to find people who know things better than I. Simply as that. So the first thing is, of course, to bringing a chemist. Our technology is based on biopolymer chemistry, so that was not an easy one, because we are looking for one specific expertise. Then we were looking for pharmaceutical development experts, then an expert in pharmacokinetics and drug design. So originally, as you may have understood, the team is very technical, and for the first early start of the company, based on R&D. Then we started to hire people, and this is what we are doing now, rather in the field of clinical development, preclinical trial, toxicology, because now we are preparing the dossier to submit for the phase 1 clinical trial that should happen in 2025. So at the moment, these are the profiles that we are looking for, but I'm always very open to people. Again, I don't need to hire people who on things that I know already, but that's very easy since I don't know much to identify the people who know more and that could bring something to the company.
I'm sure you know a lot. You're a humble leader, and I appreciate that. Jean, I would give you now one word, and I'd love your reaction to it. So the first word is leadership.
Teammate.
What about innovation?
Transforming lives of people, of patients.
Can you share more, because you're in the heart with biotech, you're in the heart of innovation. I'd love to know how you think about it, since you have practically a platform, but I heard you're specifically going for glaucoma in the beginning. So I'd love to learn how you innovate, iterate, get things done as you build your company.
No, the first thing we did, and before at the moment we were starting the company, is try to understand the life of people. So very simply, we contacted a patient association and asked them to talk to the patient, to talk to the people having glaucoma for 20 years, 30 years, and we were talking to people because glaucoma can't be cured. It's a lifelong disease. And these people are really desperate, and it may mean nothing because they are not going to die because of glaucoma, they don't have a cancer. But these people, they were telling me, okay, you know what? It may be nothing, seem nothing to people that I need to put eye drops every day. I cannot stand it anymore. I put these stupid eye drops 3 times a day since 30 years, and with the threat that if I don't do it correctly, I will get blind. So if you can do something for us, if you can change our life, and your treatment that you are explaining us once a week clearly change it a lot for us, that will change my life. So when you hear that, when you understand the perspectives of the patients, what do they live every day, then you can imagine how you can change their lives. And it's not only about having a treatment that is easier. We see it as fighting blindness. Half of the people don't take the treatment, so we are going to fight that. We fight blindness.
Oh, I love the shared purpose, and you're bringing great examples about going to patients and really solving a real problem and a real patient need. What about sailing?
Sailing is something that when I do it, I don't think anymore about biotech.
So, I love that. Can you? So I was, as I saw all you do with sailing, and you say you don't think about biotech. So I'd love to see if there's any learning from sailing actually that you apply in your management or your leadership. And probably it is not thinking about biotech and getting this headspace.
And I agree, and that's yeah. Thank you for bringing that, because I'm used to sail not alone but in a team. So we are having a crew on the boat, 5 or between 5 and 8 people. It depends of the type of boat, and clearly, of course, there is one that holds the steering wheel, but if there is no crew to make the sail, to drive the speed of the boat, and to look around where we are going, the man behind the steering wheel can't make his boat moving forward. And you have the skipper, who is one who decides of the direction, but he needs a team, and we all depend on each other to make the boat move and go as fast as possible to where we are heading to. And that's very similar to any company. Of course, there is one who needs to be the leader and to drive the strategy of the company, but he can't do it alone. And you need very talented people to help you to do it. And that's very similar on what it is on the crew of a sailing boat.
What a great example. I love it. The last word is spread love in organizations.
I see, and that's very similar to the precedent question, is first of all, we have to help each other. We are a team, so we need to work together within our organization. And if we want to make it happen, to work together, we have to identify one common goal. And the common goal is we want to have an impact. And within Biophta, we all want to fight blindness. And we want to have a noble cause to fight for. And because, I mean, you all know that working in a startup, that's not easy. You have some days with big downs and big ups, and it's not easy to manage. But if you always have this goal in mind, which is to fight blindness, then you can only spread love, because that's a noble cause that will help people. And I just want to make the life of people suffering from eye disease better. And that's my way of spreading love.
Any final word of wisdom, Jean, for healthcare leaders around the world?
I think that it's all about patience, and that's where we started, at least with the company. of course, in the end, we always have to work with VCs and different people who change the company. But again, don't forget the origin of the company and the noble cause that you are fighting with, because this is what should guide you.
Well, thank you so much for being with me, Jean, today, and really all the best with what you're doing. I love the focus that you have on patients. As you said, it's about patients. It's definitely about, also, you mentioned funding. It's about, bringing all those challenges, biology, uncertainty of business. But at the end, the heart of what we do is to make life better for patients. So never forgetting this true north is so important. And thank you so much for such an inspirational chat. And I wish you all the best with Biophta, and hopefully we will see your product soon.
Naji, thank you very much for hosting me. I was glad having this discussion with you.
Thank you all for listening to Spread Love in Organizations podcast. More episodes summarizing the Boston Biotechnology Summit are available on SpreadLoveIO.com or on your preferred podcast app. Follow Spread Love in Organizations wherever you listen to podcasts, and spread the word around you to inspire others and amplify this movement our world so desperately needs.